when you dismiss something, it's just like somebody's in the Army. If you're a private or corporal, and a sergeant tells you that it's dismissed, like you're dismissed, it means just go away for a little while. It doesn't mean that you're out of the Army, just like you're dismissed, and everybody takes formation, and everybody goes and does their daily, whatever, the daily routine, whatever they're supposed to do, whatever their assignments are. And that's when you get dismissed. But discharged is like a credit card debt. Or like, say, you're discharged from the Army. Once you're discharged, whether you're honorably or dishonorably discharged, means you ain't coming back. Means it's done. Don't bother calling me up. I'm not going to answer the phone. It's been discharged. But this means I got to answer the next damn time the phone rings. And you can't sue anybody. Well, let's put it this way. You can't sue nobody if the case has just been dismissed. It has to be discharged before you can sue somebody for filing a false charge. Because if it's just dismissed, that means it exists for all eternity. It's open still, but it's just gone away for a little while. It's not a closed case. It's just been dismissed.
Well, he did ask me to come back. So my advisor told me not to go back in. They told me because they're the grand sheik of my temple.
Okay.
They told me not to go back in, right?
Of course not.
And then I didn't. But the commissioner had sent the bailiff out to ask if I was going to go back in. And I really didn't get a chance to state on record that I required my property back, but I wrote it on the record. They have a record of that statement on file.
Like I said, ma'am, what it is like, say there's 10 steps to what I do, okay? You just pulled one step out, like step number 4, and it works. And it's like, oh boy, now what do I do for step number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10? You see what I'm saying? You're just winging it. You're just doing it like you said, oh boy, this step works really good. I got this other person, that kid back, got this other lady back, that kid, oh boy. Okay, now, how do you follow through with it? See, at least the other people that I talked to, they listened to my show for a long time. So they understood what was going on. Because when the bailiff asks you want to come back in, I know you thought that you mean to come back into the courthouse or come back into the courtroom. That's what you thought he meant. You want to come back in, right?
Yeah, he
no, ma'am. One more time. Like you believe that the bailiff was asking you, do you want to bring your physical body back into the building or back into the courtroom, right?
Right.
No, that's not what he was asking you. Say, you have no freaking clue. He was asking you, do you want to come back into the case? Because when you're in the case, we can control you. If you're not in the case, we have no jurisdiction over you. You broke jurisdiction down. They had no control over you. You have no idea what you just did.
I didn't go back in. I did not go back in.
Ma'am, in is not physical. It's not physical. You're not physically going back into the building. You want to physically be held back liable for the paperwork in which you entered into a month or a year ago or 10 years ago. He's asking, do you want to come back into the case, not back into the building, not back into the courtroom. He's asking you, do you want to be the defendant again? Come on, you want to keep playing with us? We like playing with you.
So a refusal for cause on the
No, what the hell is a refusal for cause? That's ridiculous. That's all legalese bullshit. Who's telling you this nonsense? You just make a demand for the return of your property. Since no claim came forward and since nobody rebutted your claim, you want the restoration of your property immediately. There you go. You're done. What's this thing for recusal for cause? What? That's some legalese jargon nonsense that you're learning from a freaking attorney. Go ahead and speak legalese and watch how fast you get right back under their jurisdiction, under their control. Go ahead and speak Chinese and legalese. Go ahead and see what happens to you.
No, I didn't go back, and I wrote on record.
You said recusal for cause. Now,
you know, that's what the father did. That's the father. He wrote refusal for cause on the minute orders that the bailiffs handed us because they proceeded without us and did a continuance.
Refusal for cause.
Refusal for cause.
Ma'am, I don't care if they said a banana is yellow. Ma'am, I have no effing clue what they're talking about. I don't decipher their paperwork. I don't read their paperwork. I couldn't possibly care less what they put down on a piece of paper. It has absolutely nothing to do with me and my property. So you're saying, well, we'll put something down in writing, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Who's going to interpret that nonsense? Certainly not I. You're all caught up in this paper nonsense. You're all caught up in this fancy legalese words.